right, hey again, everyone. Channel Futures Editorial Director Craig Galbraith here. Time for another edition of Channel Futures TV. Pleased today to be talking with Dylan Bailosis. Dylan is Security Solutions Principal with Dell Technologies. Dylan, how are you today?
Oh, doing great, Craig. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining me today. Excited to talk a little security. So talk to me, well, what are the implications of a breach if a customer doesn't have, say, a managed XDR solution in place?
Yeah, so I mean, that's a really good question. And sort of what it comes down to is, time to respond. Say, you're at an organization, you have a ransomware incident that goes off, right? Your system's locked down. You can't get to your critical files. Sort of the process that an organization usually goes through when that happens is, first of all, you're going to freak out, right? You're going to be like, where can I access my data? But the second thing you're probably going to do is say, okay, how do we resolve this issue? And if you don't have anybody really managing your security environment, a SecOps team, behind that infrastructure, typically what an organization is going to do is reach out to an emergency IR organization. Dell does this, SecureWorks does this, multiple security organizations perform features like this, right? And so, typically how this process works, right? You kind of go through the quoting process, you do the signing of papers, contracts, et cetera. And all while this is going on, the bad actor still has blocked your files, right? They're still in your environment, causing havoc. And it's been proven that the longer that these cyber criminals stay in your environment, the more damage they do over time, right? And so having a managed XDR solution in place already, first of all, has the actual information or has the software built into the platform so that, the forensics and everything you need is already right at your hands. You don't have to go and install that after the fact, right? And so, the security analyst team can really get right to work and just work on resolving the issue as soon as possible.
Yeah, good stuff there, Dylan. So say I'm a customer or even a channel partner focused on MDR solutions. Well, what should I focus on when looking at that?
Yeah, excuse me. I think that's a really good question as well, right? Because security is obviously a really hot market and there are lots of different players in this space, right? Some, the new one probably pops up every couple of minutes, right? And so what I think it's really important to look at are a few things, right? What kind of data are they actually gathering from your environment, right? Are they only focused on the endpoint telemetry? Are they looking at the holistic view of the environment? So are they looking at, your network? Are they looking at your cloud applications? Are they looking at your identity services, right? And because, the endpoint data is fine. And, 75 to 80% of bad actors can be caught through that data. That still leaves a 20% gap, right? And I think also what's important to recognize with, having this additional data is that it's going to help security analysts come to a conclusion better, right? So they can say an alert pops up on an endpoint. They can take that data and then look 15 minutes before or after and say like, hey, was there any suspicious network traffic going on, before this alert on the endpoint happened, right? And so they can come to conclusions quicker and come to, an agreement on what actually happened. In a more timely manner, right? So, I think that's important to look at. Also, how organizations actually do the response and remediation activities. Some organizations will simply just send you an email of, hey, this was an alert. We looked into it. Here are our findings. And then here's what we need to go do. Here's what you need to go do to actually resolve the issue, right? So they put the work back on your place and it's not a true managed XDR solution, right? There still is some work that falls back on, you as the MSP or channel partner or end user's plate, right? So I think looking into how the actual remediation activities take place is important.
All right, Dylan, so how about compliance? How does this help different customers meet various compliance requirements?
Yeah, so another great question. Essentially, this platform, this managed XDR platform that we use, and I'm sure a number of other vendors leverage, maps back to the NIST framework, and really that NIST framework maps to a lot of compliance and regulations. So we work with a lot of different vendors in the financial services space, in the medical space. You have to comply with HIPAA and things like that, right? So really, if you are looking for a solution that is going to obviously give you the protection, but then have the policies built into it to actually do the investigation and the response, then a managed XDR solution will really help you check off a number of boxes when it comes to regulation and compliance.
Dylan, thanks for your time in Channel Futures TV today. It's great getting caught up on everything security happening at Dell.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.